Welcome to Heart of the Homestead family. I'm Sarah.
I'm Caroline.
I'm Allie.
And I'm Heidi.
Join us as we talk about all things homesteading.
Okay, we are excited to be back. And not only is it me and Sarah, but we've got friends with us now. So welcome, official welcome to Caroline and Allie for joining us on this podcast.
Thanks, Heidi.
Yeah. So we're just going to do a reintroduction of us and get to know our friends that will be on the podcast. And then I'm going to just give you a little update on what's happening on our homesteads, because it's a quieter time of year, but it's still really busy. There's a lot happening. I'm Heidi, once again. We live on a 5th generation farm where we have an on-farm marketplace. We do farm tours. We do homestead classes, and we love having people out on the farm and getting educated on where their food comes from and how to create with the food that grows locally. So I'm looking forward to sharing more information with you through these future podcasts.
Awesome. Thanks, Heidi. As you know, along with Heidi, we've been doing this podcast for a while, but we're introducing new people here. So I'll just reintroduce myself here too. My name is Sarah, and we have a multi-generational farm here in Norfolk County. We have strawberries, dairy operation, and then I run a CSA or veggie box program. And then we also do plant sales and things in the spring. Our main goal is to just share our knowledge and our resources with people that want to eat healthy and come along this journey with us. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I farm with my husband and his parents, so it's fun. It's a lot of stuff, but it's fun.
Yeah. Yes. Always a lot, but if you're doing it and you enjoy it, then it's well worth it.
You bet. Yeah, and we've got 3 kids as well, so young kids, so it makes it a lot more fun too. Yeah.
He's so entertaining.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so that's for me.
Yeah. Caroline.
So I'm Caroline. I own and operate a glamping and special events place just outside of town. We have about 17 acres, but we do have a big garden that we invite our guests to respectfully explore when they stay with us. But our goal with our business is to allow people who don't necessarily have the opportunity to get out into nature and to experience life on not necessarily a farm, but a farm-ish, that this is a great way to do it.
Yeah. Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. And I'm Allie. We live on just a small hobby farm here in Norfolk County. And I've got a couple of kids. They're sort of middle school age, and I homeschool them. So that keeps things interesting and just kind of changes the pace of our life when it comes to the seasonality of living. We just finished up maple syrup season, which is a fun thing we do. And we have a big garden and a small orchard. Some things are producing and the trees are still a little young, but we're getting there.
Awesome. So you'll learn lots more about us as the time goes, but we'll give you some updates right now in Southwestern Ontario, and we've had a long winter. I don't know about you guys, but it's been nice to catch up on in-the-house stuff. I'm having like an actual winter, but now I'm ready to get outside.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've been pruning the orchard, taking cuttings and replanting them.
Good for you, Heidi.
Yeah. Anything that you've been doing?
You just reminded me. That's what you need to do. It's like I need a chainsaw on a tree now.
I've been doing some pruning, but I've never done the cuttings.
Okay.
I've not had any success with that. So maybe one day.
Yeah. I've semi-success, and I'm hoping for success again because I did a lot more.
Like you're taking cuttings of your trees?
So like the currants and like the small bush things, grapes and elderberries and things like that, and replanting them. Yeah.
I've had success with the currants for sure. Yeah, elderberry a little bit hit and miss.
So doing a cutting from the bush itself and then rooting that as opposed to sort of separating them separating the plants. Okay.
Yeah, you literally, I just take a stick, I just cut off a stick and plant it in the ground.
It's like you're pruning it, but you're actually...
But then you take those prunings and you make new plants.
Yeah, those softwoods are really easy.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
I also need to replant my asparagus because I have one row that is really not, it's too spaced. Anybody have replanted asparagus before?
Well, I just replanted last fall, so I'll tell you how it goes. If it comes up
If it was successful.
in, the next few weeks and I start to see some of it growing, I'll let you know.
Yeah. I've never replanted them. I don't know.
No. Supposedly, Google says that you can just take the bulb apart and replant them. So
Yeah, so you're planting them closer together than they were?
yeah. They're really like there's huge spaces of ones that
Okay.
never even grew.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just moving mine because I want to put something different where they were.
Right.
I wasn't doing it for that purpose, but I did kind of want to separate out. So I had my perennials all kind of growing in one spot instead of having perennials kind of mixed in with where I'm trying to fit the annuals around.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Do that because your asparagus plants are still early.
Well, actually,
still young.
some of them are older. Some of them were on the property when we moved in.
Oh wow!
But I have added to it since. So we've got a variety of ages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I even have ones that have the female spears. So they make the seeds in the fall. So I've been collecting the seeds to increase my patch. So some of them are very young because I started them from seed. But I'm hopefully going to grow it a little bit more every year and just one day have as much asparagus as I need.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say, Heidi. That's all I ever do is replant. I never dig them up. I just put more in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I figured I have lots in the other rows. I'd give it a try, but one less thing that I had to buy this spring.
Yes.
And maple syrup. 3 of us have done maple syrup, right?
Yes.
Just spring? Yeah.
Yeah. We just finished maple syrup season, and
Yeah.
it was a really crazy one.
It was a weird year. Yeah.
Because it didn't start till later than what we've have done in the past couple years, at least.
And then when it did start, it kind of came out of nowhere because it was so bitterly cold. And then suddenly the temperature was perfect for syrup and to get our taps in and
all of a sudden it came and then it was done.
then kind of fizzled out.
Yeah. We had a good run this year. Like the last year, I thought we had more.
And they say the longer that the snow is on the ground, the better the sap will flow, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying that right? I've heard too that if it's snowing like at the time that the sap, like if it's say just above freezing and it's snowing or raining, that the sap will be flowing more too. I don't know if that's. I've never really tested it, but
I just assume that more rain gets in my buckets.
I got kids. I have lids on my bucket, so I don't.
I got lids too, but I'm
Like this must be a half water.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess if it takes way longer to boil that down, but it's because it was mostly water. This episode is sponsored by Homegrown Hideaway, glamping and special events just outside of Port Dover. Come check out one of our summer concert series. All the information on Facebook, Instagram, or our website, homegrownhideaway.com.
Yes, and then started seedlings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping Sarah started seedlings because Sarah's doing my seedlings.
Yeah, we started like the first week of March, and then last week, the 15th, we really started, and then now, the 23rd. So things are coming in and out. But the problem always is that our germination chamber can only fit so many seedlings at a time, so we're always circulating as quickly as we possibly can, but it takes a long time to get everything through.
Yeah.
So that's the slowdown. But if things are looking good in there.
Awesome.
Yeah. The basil's looking good. Eggplants up. Tomatoes are up. Peppers. Yeah. So
good.
Yeah.
So your greenhouse is getting full.
yes, it is. Yeah. It's about half full right now already.
Awesome.
Which is terrifying. But that's good. Because the other thing too is we're supposed to dig in water last year so that we had a hydrant in the greenhouse, but we didn't get that far we had the lines dug, of course, but then it froze, so we couldn't actually connect them. And then this spring, all of the holes where the lines are full of water. Like the water table is really high, so we can't actually connect them. So I'm still running garden hoses and stuff, which is okay. There's end in sight to this problem, but it's like when you have a whole half a greenhouse full of stuff and you can't water it, it's a little bit scary. But anyway, it's all good. We just have big stock tanks full of water, and then we water it from a watering can right now, and then it'll get better.
Yes. That's better insight.
That's right.
Are you both starting seedlings?
I've started. Thank you for the reminder, because I started. I got my peppers in, and they're doing great. And I did some winter sowing, so my broccoli and some of my brassicas are just starting to pop up outside, which is super exciting. First time we've had success this year. But I have not done anything else. totally forgot to start the March ones. It's the 23rd, so they might be a little bit late. Good job for later this week. It's all good. Yeah. But I don't have a germination chamber. I have a wood stove and some trays that they go and sit beside the wood stove until they germinate, and then they move over into our basement. We've got a 3-tier light shelf, so it's a much smaller operation, but it works.
Yeah, totally.
Grow things usually successfully. Something goes in the ground eventually.
I didn't. That's why I handed that job over.
Yeah, that's fair.
So when you do your winter sowing, are you sowing right into the ground and then putting something over, or you have it in a container?
Eventually, I want to build a cold frame so I can just sow them right into the ground.
And then they'll stay there the whole time.
Or I can dig them up and transplant them afterwards.
Okay.
But right now, they're in old water jugs and Ziploc bags, to be perfectly honest, and in trays that are outside. And so when they're big enough, I don't have to harden them off.
Right.
In theory, we'll see if it works.
Because they've already grown.
They can just move right over into the garden. Hopefully when they're big enough that the animals won't eat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had to chase a deer out of the fenced-in area that's trying to grow my elderberries last night. He jumped. I watched him. He jumped right over the fence.
Oh, no.
Anyway, sorry, fenced area.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. The wildlife's lovely to see, just not in our garden.
Yeah. I always try to prune my raspberries in the spring, but I have enough deer that they just eat the canes right
do
down
it for
the
you.
ground. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So when nature works for our benefit.
As long as they don't come back in July and August and start doing this.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a problem. But anyway, it's a positive right now. Yeah.
So over the winter, what inside projects that you wanted to do got accomplished? We won't talk about what didn't get accomplished, but what did?
I got both my kids' rooms painted.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So good.
which was a big job. Yeah. It hasn't been painted since we moved into the house. They were just living with whatever colors the last people had painted the rooms. So now they got to choose the color, and then I did all the work of painting it. But it was good. And now it's done and they love it. And I'm glad it's done.
Yes. And they're at an age where they appreciate it. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because they are older, and, now my daughter's been able to set up her room really cute. And, they enjoy it a lot more. And it was a big thing that was looming that I knew that I wanted to do. I knew they wanted me to do it. And now.
Anything else?
I don't remember.
It
was like a long time
Winter was so long ago. Well, one of the things is reorganizing the house, because when you are outside all the time, all you do is the bare basics and nothing else gets seen. So like getting on my hands and knees, getting all the corners, taking everything out of the cupboards, and getting rid of whatever I didn't touch for the last year. And we did a lot of thrift store runs. So that was lovely. A lot less stuff, which I envision the next winter, it'll be easier because I have less stuff than the winter before. It's not true. I know. I already know it's not going to be, but it's just nice to have that time to catch up on that. And then doing some things from scratch that I don't normally do. And then I want to make them get used to making these regularly so that when busy season does come, I can just, while I'm making breakfast in the morning, I can whip this together because I've done it so many times already. And that's just one more thing I am able to do. That's what I hope. Like crackers. Like crackers are so easy to make. You just throw it all in the food processor and whips up, roll it out, cut it in the oven.
Yeah.
So that was one of things, because I made the cheesy crackers. And then one of my kids' friends was over, and they're like, "Oh, these taste so good." I'm like, "I think I still have a box of this in the cupboard. Go check what the ingredients on that says." It was scary.
Yeah.
So it makes me even more motivated to make the crackers that my kids like. They do. You have to get used to the different tastes, though, because they're not going to taste like that because they've put a lot of added unknowns in it to make it taste like that.
Yeah.
So they just have to know that. Like, I was making bagels that day too, and they're like, "Oh, these cheese crackers taste like cheese bagels." I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's what we're going for here.
We need cheese bagel crackers.
It's the marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But making anything from scratch that you haven't made before?
I spend my winter usually batch cooking. So I'll do big batches of something and then pressure can it. So in the summer when I don't want to cook or the kids need something and I'm not there, they can just open a jar and eat it. So we do like chili, a lot of the beef, the heavier stuff that you don't always want to heat up your house for in the summer.
Yes.
I'll pressure can it in the winter and then it's just there. So it's like the opposite of fall canning where you get ready for winter.
Yes.
Winter canning gets ready for summer.
Yes.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think
That's when I do my like baked beans pressure can too, because there's no rush to get them done in the fall. They can just sit dry in a mason jar on my shelf, and then January, and I've got like a whole day, and I don't have to be anywhere. Then I get out my pressure canner because for me, I'm still learning. Like it still takes a lot of my attention when I use the pressure canner because I've only used it a handful of times. So I really like babysit it, and I'm constantly looking at the instructions again. How many minutes until this, and what's the next thing I have to watch for? So I'm not as efficient with that yet. So it does take me like a whole day to get that done, which is a winter job then.
I don't do it regularly either. So then I just invite Caroline over and she helps me monitor the pressure canner and talk me through it while we're doing something else at the same time.
Which works out great because then I learn things that I wouldn't normally do.
Yeah. I've done that a couple times where I've gone to somebody's house or they've come to me and we've each taught things. But at the same time, like they're doing things, I'm watching them in the kitchen. I'm like, why didn't I think about that? Is so much easier of a process to do, and you just learn. I think we need to share the kitchen more.
Yes.
Because you just pick up on things that you didn't know you could teach somebody because you just thought that's just what everybody does until you get into somebody else's kitchen. You're like, oh, that makes things so much easier. Or that is why, like I was in somebody's kitchen and she was making her own dishwasher tabs, which is what I do. And she's like, oh, these dishes are getting like this white film on them. I'm like, yes, so does mine. It's so aggravating when I'm using homemade things. She's like, oh, it's because of the lack of citric acid. You need to up your citric acid. Oh,
thank you,
problem solved. You were having that problem too.
I just made a batch and I was like, why aren't these working? Like, is it my softener salt? Like, I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I thought it was the hard water, but so I've just added a little bit, like half a teaspoon of citric acid into the detergent area, and we're getting there.
Okay. I always find though too, and Thomas will attest to this in the barn because they have to have it regulated for the milk, is that in the spring and in the fall, the water changes and the hardness changes as well.
Oh, okay.
So, which I never really paid attention to until I used my own tabs, and now I'm like, what the heck? Why are they so different? But I never really realized that the hardness changes as the season changes. So
Think about that.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
citric acid. Okay,
That's what we're lacking. And I'm going to do one more batch of pressure canning. So I do a lot of the broths when I'm pressure canning, and that's because like the carrots that you've stored and some of the veggies that you've stored or have in the freezer, you're like, okay, I'm not going to use all of this up before the next season comes, and the carrots are starting to get soft and stuff that's stored away. So it's nice just to throw them all into the big pots and get them cooked down, and then I got broth on the shelf for the future.
Broth is such a great way to use up your leftovers and just your bits and scraps of things and get something like delicious and nourishing.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are convincing me to buy a pressure canner. Like, I don't have one. I'm a water bath baby. But, like,
You'll still use your water bath.
I know, but yeah. Now that I'm like, okay, I can see the progress here. How is it easier?
Because otherwise, I just put the broth in the freezer. But
well, that's what I do. But
how often do you remember to take that out when you want to go to use it?
That's why I started pressure canning. So I borrowed my mom's, which was actually my grandma's, which now lives at my house, because I never remember to get it out of the freezer, and I would put it in bags because I can't do it in jars because it always breaks.
Yes.
So I do it in bags, and then it's this awkward shape, and it was just never worked. So that's how I started, and now I pressure can.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. It's fun, and it feels like it's more accessible, and you've now taken another thing that you would have gotten from the store potentially. It's just right on your shelf. It's like grocery shopping in your own house.
Yeah.
Except you put a lot of work to do. It's a lot of work, but broth is one of the easier ones. You just like did it this morning. Well, the kids were getting ready for school. I was just chopping up veggies and throwing it in, and it's not hard. And we have a podcast in the past about making broth. So check that out if you want more information on what to put in it and how to do it.
Yeah, chicken broth, beef broth, vegetable broth. There's lots of different options. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anything else that anybody wants to share?
It's the season of mud right now. I think that's just a big thing for
yes.
us. And it's raining a lot, so we're like unclearing drains a lot. We're like, my washing machine is just full of mud all the time. Like,
yes,
it's just. But my kids just love the puddles. Like, we're just in that stage of life.
It's like a free playground for the kids. You didn't have to pay for that at all. That experience is.
Yeah, for sure. And in the wintertime too, like, those weird days, ice days. It's like, okay, well, if I send Elizabeth to school, they're just gonna keep her inside because it's too cold or it's icy. They won't let her outside, so we might as well just keep her home and she can go and play and do these things. But then I have the result of a muddy / wet, sandy, whatever. Yeah. So those are the opportunities we've been choosing to like keep them home and enjoy having time with them. But at the same time, it just makes more work.
Yes.
So it's a trade-off.
Yes, constant trade-off with kids and giving them the experiences, but then having the cleanup afterwards. We've got a large variety of animals here, so keeping everybody warm, dry. I like them to be outside as much as possible, so making sure they're content. Some of them are having babies already, and of course, they have to have them on the coldest days, the rainiest days. So we're still waiting for some more in the next month or so, but the animals keep you outside, which in whatever weather, and breaking ice. We spent a lot of winter breaking ice because it was a colder winter, but every year we get more and more of their water buckets hooked into hydro. And we even the water buckets that are way in the back that can't be hooked up to hydro, we put a generator on it for a little while because it was just getting too hard to crack. But everybody's doing good.
We got caught off guard though the one night. It was the last week. It was really, really windy at night. It was only like -2 or 3, but we didn't close the barn all the way and it froze a bunch of stuff. We should know this by now. Rats,
yes. They we have a chicken tractor that survived all winter. Great. That one wind demolished it.
Oh no!
It's like it went through all the snow and all the winter winds and once winter spring wind.
You never know.
Whatever it was supposed to be.
And
it just crushed it. So we'll see. It's all metal and like cheap metal framing. So who knows if that'll be able to bounce back or not. But and on the other weekend there's lots of trees and branches down. So we were getting those all chopped up. Well, it's still manageable to get into the forest.
I would say that's the nice thing about maple syrup for us is we heat it outside. So, and there's often in times of day or in the season where like I'm not necessarily always outside because it's kind of gray when we're boiling, but it gives me an opportunity to like clean up the flower beds and like pick up the sticks and like things that you're just not like necessarily always in the season for. So I look forward to boiling sap for those reasons.
You outside purposely.
Forces you to go outside even if you don't want to.
You can find lots of things to do inside to keep you occupied, but it's good to be out there.
Yeah, it is. And like cooking hot dogs on the fire, it's lots of fun with the kids. So
Awesome. Well, there's a little update on what we've all been doing on our homesteads, and hope you enjoyed this episode, and make sure you tune in for another one coming soon.
Thank you for joining us. Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and until next time, enjoy filling your hearts and your jars.